What's up, Royals? I'm Kai. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, I'm going to give you updates on two of my clutches. The first one being a Super Orange Dream clutch, and there are a total of 7 codoms in the pairing. The second clutch being a Desert Ghost clutch, and with this single clutch, I was able to produce double the number of visual Desert Ghosts than I did last season. So stick around. You're watching Lucas Landon Royals. All right, Royals, so truth be told, I can't control the breeding cycle of these animals, so there's going to be weeks where I have multiple clutches, multiple egg cuttings, and then there's going to be weeks where there's nothing going on. But I want to keep uploading my videos on a consistent basis, so they're going to be spread out. I will try to continue to upload them on every Sunday until I get to a point where I have a lot of content, and then maybe I'll do what I did last year, which is to upload on Wednesdays and Sundays. But until then, I'm going to upload on Sundays. If you want more up-to-date information, make sure you follow me on my other social media platforms, namely Instagram and Facebook. All right, so I am going to show you 2 clutches because I do want to play a little catch-up. Like I told you, the first one is a Super Orange Dream clutch. The father is a Enchi Orange Dream Yellow Belly Pinstripe. The mom is a Orange Dream B, so Orange Dream Pastel Spider. And if you want to see the egg pulling video, there's a card for you. If you want to see the egg cutting video, there's another card for you. So with that out of the way, let's get on to see what these babies look like now that they're out of their eggs. So this is straight out of the egg box. And you can see, wow, look at the intensity of the color. Let's see. It's kind of hard for me to tell Super OD or OD Enchi. I don't think this has fire. It obviously doesn't have the 2 pattern mutations in this pairing, which is Spider and Pinstripe. So I do believe it to be a Super Orange Dream. I don't see the wide eye bands. Orange Dream for sure. Look at that. So, and this could be the Super. And let's see. I see a little bit. So I think this is a male. So Super OD male. All right, this one. So I made a mistake when trying to IDing this one out of the egg. I'm not going to make the same mistake here. This is a spinner. I don't think there's anything else to it. I don't think there's Enchi. I don't think there's Orange Dream. Definitely not fire. Why did I say fire? Fire's not even in here. But there might be Yellow Belly. But definitely a spinner. I think I was so confused when I was cutting the egg. I said Pinstripe. Really thin pinstripe, because it has the pinstripe. It has very thin lines, and for some reason I had a brain fart and didn't realize that it could be a spinner. Let me check to see if this is a boy or a girl. Another boy. All right, so it looks like my plans of not my plan, but my theory of lowering the temperature on these clutches to produce more females isn't working, because the last clutch we got mostly females, but this one so far 2 males. Here's the next one, and you can see this is Pinstripe, but you can see that the pinstripe are opening up, and I think that's an indication of Enchi. The next one I'll show you, or I plan to show you, if it doesn't ball up and get twisted with his siblings, is probably the same but 1 gene more. I'm not very comfortable identifying Yellow Belly. I know it is in here, but Yellow Belly for me needs some more pattern, and definitely some pattern along the sides and belly. And with these pattern reducing genes, such as pinstripe, that makes it hard for me. We can take a look under here, but there's really not much to look at. There's no checkerboard, there's no checkering, there's no pixelating. So that's what makes it hard for me. But I think this is inchy pinstripe. I'll do some research, do some comparisons on Morph Market. But that's what I'm thinking it is right now. And as for the gender, female. All right, our first female of this clutch. Cool. All right, I thought it was balled up, but in reality, I have two that are very similar. Head stamp's a little bit different. A little bit. Body pattern, this one seems to be a little bit more reduced. But if you look at the colors, you got that back, the color along the back, that gold bronze color, and then the orange color along the side. Same thing here. Let me just put one down and we'll go through this one. This is so cool. So this one, you can see the pattern here, which there's not that much of, but it doesn't seem to be opening up in between the pattern like the last one that I said has inchy. So I don't really know what to make of it. I think maybe this would probably be super pastel, sorry, not super pastel, orange dream or super orange dream with pinstripe. The inchy part, or maybe it's orange dream inchy. I would expect the pattern to be a little bit more open, to have the lost for words, the blushing in between each of these, I guess you can call it, come through a little bit more. But so far, I mean, it's a beautiful animal, for sure. I knew this clutch is going to be a nightmare to identify. And that's a boy. That's a boy, that's great. I am trying to replace the dad without spider in the mix. So this might be one of the options. And here's this one again. So of the two, this one is probably more likely to be inchy, just because you can see these patterns are a little bit thicker, but I'm still not very sure. I mean, there's not that much of a difference, but you can see that has a little bit of lighter color in there. Still beautiful, beautiful animal. Like I said, this one has more of a uniform head stamp, nice and connected as well. The last one had a little bit of disconnect, is a little bit more blushed out. We could also be seeing the effects of yellow belly in one versus the other, and maybe that's why there's a little bit of variation, because yellow belly is subtle sometimes, even in combos. Another boy. There you go. So we got, what are we up to, like 4 males already? So I'm hoping the remaining ones are female, because we should get 50-50 odds. Now this one, obviously, I'm not going to be able to pop. Still in the egg, but this one doesn't have pinstripe or spider, and I'm digging this a lot, because I sometimes more is better. Sorry, I said that wrong. Sometimes less is better. Let's see. It does look fully developed. I don't see the I see a little bit of stuff in there. So I'm just going to put this one as it is into the back of the tub where it's warm. Ooh, look at this one. So I hatched something similar to this one last season, so 2 seasons ago. This is what I believe, well, I should say the one that I hatched 2 seasons ago is what and I'll put a video to that one up here, is what I believe to be a super OD fire. Oh, I keep saying fire. There's no fire in here. Super OD Bumblebee. So 2 doses of Orange Dream, Pastel, and Spider. But looking at this one, much cleaner and more reduced pattern. Definitely Spider, no pinstripe in here, but you can see it hardly even connects. And as we go down the body, it's even more disconnected, right? The one that I hatched 2 seasons ago had like a bunny rabbit shape, but you can see that the pattern on its head doesn't even connect. It's like this skull looking thing. You got the 2 eyes, the nose, and then your teeth. It almost looks like a skull, which is pretty cool. And the one that I got 2 seasons ago is a female. Try not to hold too many spider males, but let's take a look. And it's a male. Check that out, 2 hemipenes. So, oh man, this is so beautiful. I might hold this one back if it doesn't sell, but I think I will make it available. Gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. I think from the egg when we cut it, probably only saw like this much of it. This much of it. So it was like completely patternless. And then when I flipped around, I saw one little dot. This reminds me of another one that I hatched 2 seasons ago. Very similar. I also thought it was patternless out of the egg. But wow, look at this. This is incredible because I think this has all 7 genes. And the one that I hatched 2 seasons ago looked just like this. Again, all 7 genes. And if that's the case, I hit the odds on this one. 1 in 128. And I did it twice. So that is freaking incredible. So the one last season was a male. Last season was a male. And we are male heavy here. So far we only got 1 confirmed female. The rest of them are male. 1 is still in the egg. Female? Let me take a look. I think that's female. No hemipenes there. So we got a male from 2 seasons ago and now a female. About time. About freaking time. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, just look at how clean it is. Super clean. This is fantastic. I mean, look. So I'm gonna bring out the one that I hatched 2 seasons ago. All right, but before I do that, just look at the face. Almost no pattern on the head. Tiny little dash behind its eye, and then we got just a few spots. And towards the tail, almost, well, no spots, nothing towards the tail. All right, so remember those characteristics. And here is the adult from 2 seasons ago. Look at that. Look. Oh, he's squirming. He's squirming, but I'll show you the tail. Look at the tail. Look at that. Almost no pattern on the tail as well. He did develop a few specks as he grew, but as a hatchling, just completely yellow. And then if we look at the head on this one, if he stays still. All right, so first we'll look at the spots on its back, right? A few spots. And if we look at the head, stop moving, buddy. Look at that, very clean head. I mean, it's not as clean as the hatchling, but we do know that as they develop, some color does come in. But come on, just show the eye stripe. Come on, look at that. Just a little bit of dash right behind the eye, just a little bit. Same thing on this side. So this one is exhibiting even less of a line behind the eye. But yeah, I just wanted to show this to you. And he's not going to sit still, so I'm going to put him back. Man, that is a crazy looking clutch. A lot of variety. I love it. Now let's move on to the next clutch, which is the Desert Ghost clutch. The father is a pastel Desert Ghost. The mom is a pastel Lesser Spectre Het Desert Ghost. Again, egg pulling video, egg cutting video, onto the update. These are the eggshells from the DG clutch, and I'm going to use DG instead of Desert Ghost just to avoid some confusion, because there is another gene called Desert, there is another gene called Ghost, and of course we have what's Desert Ghost, which is different from Desert, different from Ghost. So I'm going to call it DG. So I wanted to show you this because this is quite interesting here. Remember the moldy egg? You can see the mold at the bottom. I did show that in the video as well. This doesn't happen often, but the egg or the yolk didn't get fully absorbed. And sometimes we don't know why. Sometimes they're just complications. But I think in this case, in this situation, there's mold. I think that mold on the bottom probably got into the egg, and nature somehow allowed the hatchling to break free from this big mass that is probably very unhealthy to be absorbed into somebody's body. All right, so I just wanted to show that off to you. It's kind of nasty. These are healthy eggs, or not healthy, but this is what you would typically expect. Is completely absorbed. See, there's almost nothing in here. There's a little bit of residue, but that's probably just part of the membrane that was left in here. This is what you expect. This is something funky, but luckily the hatchling is still alive, and we're going to take a look at that. Let me go wash my hands and I'll be right back. All right, so I have the hatchlings sitting in here. They're in a tub of water. You can see they're just getting washed off. There's some of that egg goo still on them and all of that perlite that's sticking to them. I did wait a long time for them to come out, and that wait was mainly due to that one that had the leftover yolk. I didn't want to take them out of the incubator prematurely, so I just left them in there till they all came out, and now that they have, we're going to take a look at them one by one. The reason I'm telling you it's kind of overdue is because one of those hatchlings, you might have saw it earlier, is actually starting to go into shed. We're going to start off with the one with the least number of genes, and this looks like a specter. Could be normal, but this is kind of what I would expect the specter to look like. Remember, there's a specter in this pairing: pastel, lesser, specter, het, desert, ghost. I was kind of teetering on the mom of this clutch being specter / yellow belly, but I don't see yellow belly. I see specter, so now I know for sure that mom is specter. This looks specter. It could be just a very clean looking normal, because you don't see the typical 2 dots for the alien eyes. And you see those very nice, I guess, rounded off squares along the sides as those alien heads. So this might be specter. Oh, look at that. Look at that belly. Yeah, I'm really leaning towards specter on this one. And I believe this is a girl. I was quite anxious to see if there's boys or girls. I don't think I got good odds on this one. I mean, I know I didn't get good odds on this one. Yep, so this is the only female. Only female. But they are beautiful animals, which I'll show you next. Let me get the next one. So over here we have a pastel, specter, het for DG. That last specter that you saw was also het for DG. These are the 2 het DGs in this clutch. Again, I think that's this pastel specter. Not 100% sure on the specter part. It kind of looks specter. I mean, definitely pastel in here. And I believe this to be a male. Yep. See the 2 hemipines? So that's a boy. Very pretty. I think DG has a very heavy influence. The het version has a very heavy influence. A lot of my het DGs just turned out super clean. almost like there's a extra gene in there somehow, but there's no extra gene. It's what we call the het influence, where a het bleeds through. So there's the male. Again, I'm certain it's pastel. On the fence if it's Spectre. I think it is, but I don't know. If it had less alien eyes, I would believe it is, but this might brighten up. This is one that is in shed, and you can see from the eyes it's already in blue. So hopefully after this I'll have a better idea if it has Spectre or not. So here is the littlest guy. This is the one that had the unabsorbed yolk, the moldy egg. And let's take a look at its belly, and you can see that it's almost closed up, almost completely healed. And that's the spot that it was absorbing its nutrients from. I believe this to be a male as well. Look at that, it's almost like inverting its hemipenes already. Yep, see that little one that just popped out? So, but take a look at this. Look how bright and clean it is. So I think this is the visual desert ghost. Lesser Spectre desert ghost is what I believe this to be. Maybe pastel. I mean, look how blushed out the head is. So I'm gonna have to wait until it sheds out. This guy might take a little while to shed because this was the last one that came out of its egg. But definitely want to wait a little bit. But so far, this is looking DG to me. And you guys let me know. I mean, I don't see any specks of dust or pixel or dirtiness at all along its dorsal. But then again, you know, having so many genes involved, that definitely would clean it up as well. But I would not expect it to be this clean if it wasn't a visual DG. So look at the side. Look at how it kind of just like hot air balloons just lifting up. It's really cool. All right, so the next one I'm going to bring out, when we were looking at the next one compared to this one when they were in the egg, they actually look almost identical. And now looking at this one, you say, how can they look identical? They look completely different. Well, again, it's because we were waiting for that last one to come out of the egg. These have already gone into shed. You can just see the grayed or blue eyes. This one is definitely going into shed. It's very similar in color to that last one when it was hatched. Actually, let me get the last one back out. But we can see the pattern being very different now that they're out. We can see that this one has a very busy pattern, right? Look at the dorsal. Almost no dorsal striping. A lot of just the alien heads reaching up and crossing over. And then you look at this one. It's like almost a complete solid line, except a little breakage there, a little fade there. That's about it. Just those two little spots. And then you have all these alien heads floating up with almost no alien eyes. Maybe a couple here. All of these are connected in this fashion, horizontally, right? Whereas this one is connected over the dorsal. So I'm not really sure what to make of it. From a color standpoint, from what I recall, they were very, very similar in the egg. But now, obviously, we're noticing a lot of difference in the pattern. This one being in shed, now it's kind of hard to make a comparison using each other to identify the morphs. So I think the best thing we can do at this point is just to let them both shed out, so then we can kind of compare apples to apples. Oh, and this one is, I believe, a male. Unfortunately, I was shooting for females, but got a bunch of males, which means these will be available. Say that with a heavy heart. See, hemipenes. It'll be a happy breeder for someone else or a pet. So this guy is going to go in along with his clutch mates, and we're just going to wait for all of them to shed out, and I'll give you guys another update. Desert Ghost is an amazing gene. I wish I held on to more females when I had the chance, but I don't know if you guys caught on or kept track, but I did say in the beginning of the video that I doubled the number of visual desert ghosts I produced this season over last season. So since I got 2, that means last season I only produced 1 visual desert ghost out of 4 pairings. Really bad odds, bad luck. Hopefully this season I'll have a little bit better luck, but to be honest, it's not going quite so well. But I'll keep you guys informed on future videos. So that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and ring that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and remember, Royals for life. Peace out.